From fixing NBA games to mind-blowingly bad calls, NBA referees have gone way too far in the past. Today on Tube Talk Trophies, where we give trophies to the most trending teammates, we're going to take a look at moments when NBA referees went way too far and just how mad some NBA players got about it. Hit that like button and grab some popcorn. You already know this is gonna be good. Incident 1. LeBron James fouled on game-winning shot. LeBron James is one of the most physical forces in the NBA when driving to the rim. So when he was driving to the rim to lay in the game's winning shot, whistles were expected when Jason Tatum slapped LeBron's arm. Except that's not what happened. In a game-winning moment, LeBron was denied an obvious foul and the teams went to overtime. Things were made worse for the Lakers when they lost in overtime to the Celtics. That no call cost LA the game. At the time, LeBron went crazy, getting very heated by the no call. The reaction after the game was equally as hot-headed. Anthony Davis kept things pretty short and sweet, saying we got cheated. LeBron's head coach, Darvin Ham, had a pretty punchy statement, saying the best player on earth can't get a call. It's amazing.
The best player on earth can't get a call.
I mean, that's more than a bit punchy coming from Ham, but the Lakers head coach had to be frustrated when terrible calls like that cost them the game. The guy sitting in row Z probably saw the contact, and yet the officials somehow didn't. Controversy meter 3 stars. Incident 2. Tim Duncan gets ejected for laughing. Tim Duncan was one of the best players in the NBA for more than a decade. Despite that, he was still on the wrong end of one time when an NBA referee went way too far. In 2007, Duncan was sitting on the bench and said something to referee Joey Crawford. In response, Crawford did the normal thing and gave Duncan a technical foul. But after Duncan laughed at him, Crawford gave him another technical and ejected the Spurs legend from the game. That is one crazy overreaction for a player laughing at a call. Getting ejected because you laughed at an official is just insane. The smile on Duncan's face slowly faded away as he realized just how ridiculous of a call it really was. As you could probably understand, the entire Spurs bench was baffled at what happened. If you think that is ridiculous, what Duncan said after the game is even more insane. The NBA referee actually challenged Duncan to a fight. Come on, Joey, Tim Duncan might seem like a nice guy, but he's still a 7-foot-plus guy that you would stand no chance against. The reaction from the NBA community was shocking, but no one was surprised when Crawford was suspended indefinitely by the league. A pretty strange way for Tim Duncan to pick up the only ejection of his entire 19-year career. Before we get to number 3, smash the like button and subscribe. This content is too entertaining to miss. Controversy meter 4 stars. Incident 3. Rasheed Wallace ejected for staring. If you know anything about Rasheed Wallace, he was not exactly best friends with NBA referees. One of the most famous incidents between the officials and Wallace was in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. Wallace and the Portland Trail Blazers were unhappy with a few calls and a few choice words were exchanged. A timeout was called by the Lakers, and then out of nowhere, Wallace was ejected from the game. It was surprising to everyone in the arena because no one knew what the hell had just happened. It didn't even look like Wallace had said a single word to referee Ron Gerritsen. The mic'd-up version shows Wallace didn't say anything but was instead ejected for staring at the referee. It had a huge impact on the series as the Lakers won the game, which was the game Wallace was ejected from. The Lakers went on to win the series in 7 games. Having had run-ins with referees before, Wallace said exactly what he was supposed to in the press conference after the game, saying, "I ain't giving you all fuel for the fire. I ain't saying nothing." It's one of the strangest ejections in NBA history. I get that referees don't want to be stared at, but in one of the most important games in the NBA that season, you can't throw someone out of the game for nothing. Controversy meter 4 stars. Incident 4. Tim Donaghy conspires to fix NBA games. If you're an NBA fan who has never heard the name Tim Donaghy before, then you don't know about the craziest conspiracy in NBA history. Donaghy was a referee in the NBA for more than a decade, officiating some of the biggest games in the league. In 2007, it was announced that Donaghy pleaded guilty to federal charges related to betting on games that he was officiating in. Not only did Donaghy bet on games that he was officiating over a 4-season period, but he even made calls which affected the point spread of those games. He was purposely making bad calls so that his bets would come in. That wasn't a small money operation either. Donaghy placed bets on tens of thousands of dollars on NBA games, some even suggesting that he had gotten himself into debt through betting and that he was trying to make the money back through betting. The reaction was insane. The NBA was rocked by one of the craziest conspiracies actually being true. The league had to make a variety of changes to their rules around officials due to the scandal. Controversy meter 4.5 stars. Incident 5. The NBA accused of fixed games. Tim Donaghy could have an entire video just to himself. I mean, the guy is just the perfect example of the NBA needing to be a little bit more selective of who becomes a referee. As a result, Donaghy landed himself in number 4 and number 5. This time, Donaghy came bearing accusations against the NBA like Santa comes bearing gifts. When Donaghy was being investigated for his infamous betting scandal, he made some pretty bold claims about the entire NBA. Donaghy said that the NBA had instructed the referees on Game 6 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals to make sure that the Lakers won the game. The disgraced referee said that the NBA wanted the series pushed to 7 games to increase television ratings and ticket sales. In support of Donaghy, the Lakers certainly did get more favorable calls in that game. They shot 18 more free throws in what could have been the last game of the series than in the entire series itself. Consequently, when this information was released, the NBA was faced with allegations that could have destroyed the league. Thankfully for the NBA, the investigation ruled out there was no evidence to support the allegations, especially since information was coming from a disgraced former referee with a terrible track record. Sometimes liars lie, and sometimes liars tell the truth. The league was able to distance themselves from Donaghy's allegations, but who knows? Maybe he was telling the truth. What do you think? Is Donaghy getting his revenge through falsified allegations, or is the NBA secretly fixed? Leave a comment below. Controversy meter 5 stars. But hold your breath, folks, it's not over. We have a bonus for you all. In this electrifying NBA showdown on September 20th, 2023, it's the Clippers going head-to-head against the Rockets. The arena crackles with anticipation, filling to the brim as fans flood in. There was not enough seats to hold every fan. Police wonder how so many fans got in. But here's the jaw-dropping twist. Just as tip-off looms closer, an atmosphere of suspense grips the crowd. The police at the entrance suddenly become the center of attention. Why, you might wonder? Because an unforeseen incident has unfolded. A daring heist led by a cunning band of basketball enthusiasts who have stolen the prize tickets to the game. As the drama unfolds, it becomes clear that subscribing to Tube Talk Trophies was the only way to secure entry, and those who missed out are left watching helplessly from the sidelines. It's a plot twist that has left even the most diehard fans in shock and disbelief. What do you think is the craziest NBA referee moment? Do you agree with our controversy ratings? Rank these 5 controversies from greatest to least in the comments section below. While you're down there, destroy that like button and subscribe to Tube Talk Trophies, where we give trophies to the most trending teammates.